could have struck. He had a winning position in Game 2. Game 4 there, on the clock. Looked like he was so close. But then again, Firouzja better with 1 minute than most Grandmasters are with 1 hour.
It's just incredible. I mean, what he's done with the white pieces in this match. But more importantly, also, you know, offense, this is it. Arjun Erigaisi, will this be his final game, or will he keep the hope alive?
Yeah, there's a deep pawn opening, a slight switch up from Firouzja, not the exact same move order that we've seen from him so far today. And, okay, he goes more main line. His Queen's Gambit declined. No early trades, no forced draws in this one. And how will he choose to continue? I'm a bit surprised, Tanya. He's been so successful with white Firouzja. He just needs a draw. He's won both of his white games so far. To switch openings so suddenly when it's been working so well, why mess with the winning strategy?
Definitely a bit of a surprise. If it's a surprise for us, it's perhaps a surprise for Arjun as well. You know, we saw Alireza with that thinking face in between games, trying to figure out what would be his approach. This also a pretty solid line. The Queen's Gambit decline is. And I think he just believes he doesn't want Arjun to be the one to spring that first shocker in, given the time. You know, it's interesting what his approach here is. I'm equally surprised as you are, David.
Yeah, very ambitious, I've got to say, very confident move there from Firouzja to switch away from that Fianchetto, the kind of the Grunfelds, the King's Indians that we've been seeing so far. He's been outplaying Arjun, and it's that simple. But this is still one of the main lines of the Queen's Gambit declined. As we see tension between all those 4 pawns now in the center. Maybe he's going to hope that they all get traded and we go to symmetry.
Now, we have seen, of course, in the Esports World Cup already, situations where, we just need to keep things as is, or we need to simplify, don't do anything drastic, but overcomplicating or overthinking has led to opportunities missed. This is just a change in opening. I wouldn't be as drastic as to suggest it's a mistake or anything like that, but do we think that Firouzja might be overthinking this a bit here? Should he have stuck to bread and butter?
Why fix what's not broken?
Yeah.
And it's tough to understand what made him take that decision to not Fianchetto his bishop, to not go for those Catalan lines that we've been seeing so far. But it is what it is, you know. Something in his mind told him that perhaps Arjun will come up with these. Because in the Catalan, there are often these offbeat, less played ideas that Black also has that you need to be familiar with. Not wanting to face that. This is what we have. This is his decision. Hope as well. You know, there is asymmetry in the pawn formation. That pawn which was attacked needs to be defended right now as it is. I think we're going to see some central trades and potentially some weak pawns left behind.
Exactly. And we've been here before. We've seen players with white in situations where draw is enough. They play a bit negatively. They play a bit passively. Firouzja will be hoping to avoid that. But just looking at the clock alone, I don't think this has been a wise choice to switch away, to force yourself to suddenly come up with new ideas. Arjun didn't show that he had any ideas against the Catalans. He didn't have anything special, nothing active, aggressive at least. So why give him the chance here? It does look like Firouzja may be regretting that decision. The clock, the heart rate, not looking good for him right now.
And that's exactly what's giving it away. glimmer of hope that means at least you've got something to play on for, at least you've got something to play on, it would be a really different story, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
To suffer for, always. Yeah, he's just weakened his dart squares. That's a sad move to play.
Because there's nothing else to be done, right? The white pawn dominating the black knight. The bishop unable to move. Queen d2 now hitting that pawn on h6.
The pawn moves, but no dart squared control at all for black now. The white dart squared bishop is going to be the MVP as it snakes its way in. The black king, there's so many holes around. Already you can see the kind of makings of a checkmating attack.
That queen's about to come in, you know, the pawn that has just moved forward. Queen to h6, it lands there. Now, Arjun comes in with a big... Alireza even comes in with a big threat. And I think if you have the opportunity, let's show that. There is a trap that is being set up. It was absolutely essential for Arjun to off-win. And Arjun is in a must-win position.
Yeah, and let's show what would have happened to the trap in this position if black does nothing, for example. Then we would see the white rook capture this black knight, remove a defender in order to break through on the dart squares. White bishop lands. The black queen now is skewered. If she saves herself, we would see a checkmate, the kiss of death, and the king would have been doomed. So the offer of a queen trade, even that not getting the desired result. But look at this, a shimmy here, sidestep, retreat. The white queen is going to go pawn hunting. Black's isolated pawn in the center is doomed. You can pick it off at will.
Big advantage on the clock from the beginning of the game is also all but eroded now as well. It's back down to under a minute as Arjun Erigaisi continues to struggle to find a way out of this conundrum. The rook lifted up to a7. At the same time, it means the knight's even more immobile than it was before. The h5 pawn had to come up because if you move the king up, suddenly that's another self-pin. That rook being on the 7th is so frustrating, so unbelievably binding right now that unfortunately, Arjun's sitting there effectively waiting, and that's a resignation. The position is so hopeless. There was no way out. A masterclass from Firouzja after switching up the opening and spending so much time